Welcome to the channel, and today we'll be breaking down one of Eminem's most underrated song, Believe. Believe is definitely an underrated song, and one could argue that the entire Revival album is underrated, so the fact that Believe is underrated shouldn't come as a surprise. Revival as a whole wasn't received well by critics, and sadly, many fans also turned their back on Eminem. But this probably has a lot more to do with politics in the United States rather than the quality of the album, because Revival performed exceptionally outside the United States. Today we'll be explaining the meanings behind the lyrics of Eminem's Believe on Revival, and based on the fact that Revival's 1-year anniversary is just around the corner, this is perfect timing if I do say so myself. Before we get started, remember to subscribe if you're new to the channel and turn on notifications. Believe starts off right after Walk on Water, where Eminem explodes self-doubt and the burden of huge expectations, and here Eminem's approach is more confident and shows he still has faith in his ability. His rhymes on Believe starts as a continuation from the end of Walk on Water, and Eminem states that he started from the bottom.
And I started from the bottom like a snowman, ground up like round chuck.
A snowman is usually built from the bottom, and this is a metaphor for how he started off poor, and since snowmen are obviously white, this could also be interpreted as Eminem starting from the bottom as a poor white boy in a hood predominantly black. Round chalk could also mean a cut of beef, so Eminem plays on this with ground up, as in ground beef. It's just the first bar, and meanings that make sense are all over the place. Round chalk could also be a reference to Chuck Norris, one of the most famous martial artists to break into Hollywood, who is known for his roundhouse signature kick, and this usually starts off from the ground up before you get kicked in the face, and this is obvious as the verse continues with this.
Still put hands on you, staying wound up, that's how I spend time.
The three interpretations from earlier make sense here, because still put hands on you makes sense for the snowman, the ground beef, and Chuck Norris's roundhouse kick. With the snowman, you're likely to put hands on it using sticks after it's built up from the ground. Ground beef, you're likely to put hands on it to mold it into beef burgers, and Chuck Norris stays wound up, ready to deliver his signature roundhouse kick. Eminem is known for his complex rhyme schemes, and this could make heads spin, but does this with ease and finesse.
Such a breeze when I pen rhymes, I just got that air about me, like wind chimes.
And air in this bar signifies that he is known to possess such quality when writing and delivering rhymes. Eminem in the Slim Shady LP on tracks like Rock Bottom talked about how poverty dictated his life up to the point of living in houses without proper heating or furniture, but with a net worth rumored to be nearly $200 million, the days of scraping by are long gone for him.
Used to have to scrape to get by, now my community's gated and I made it and my neighbors say hi.
A gated community is a housing estate containing strictly controlled entrances for pedestrians and automobiles, and these estates are usually fenced and exclusive. He's moved from white trash in a poor neighborhood to an exclusive estate that is upscale. If you've lived a life of poverty, regardless of how wealthy you get in the future, you will likely never forget the days of scraping by, and like many, Eminem also worked minimum wage jobs before fame.
But I still remember the days up, minimum wage for general labor, welfare recipients as a minor, look how government assistance is major.
In many countries, especially developed countries, the government gives support to residents who don't make enough money to support their families, and Eminem was also a welfare recipient before his success. Eminem also states he has been on it since he was a minor and pronounces major like major, which is the opposite of minor. Eminem makes music to motivate listeners, and one thing poorer people are known for is excuses.
Put your temper to more use, cause being broke's a poor excuse. That should only give you more fuel, show 'em why you're you.
Of course, it's probably not your fault if you start poor, but if you put your anger to good use, you most likely improve your situation in life, especially for those living in developed countries. You may not become a millionaire, but you can definitely improve your living standard if you work hard. The line,
cause being broke's a poor excuse,
is also a wordplay to state two things. Being broke's a poor excuse, which on one hand means poor people use it as an excuse, and also means it's a poor excuse as in bad excuse. Eminem is known to be short-tempered on the mic, and his lyrics are quick to offend, and this contributed to his success.
Screw it, I'm lit, and that attitude I blew up on quick, that's why they called me firecracker. I grew up on wick, with a short fuse.
And firecracker in this bar is him restating how he's quick to blow up and could also mean a fire white person, as cracker is a derogatory term for white people. The bar also contains the line, "I grew up on WIC," which is a government food and nutrition service for women, infants, and children in the United States. So in other words, Eminem is still stressing on the advice that you should put your anger to good use to blow out of poverty like he did. And if you thought he was done, think again, as he's managed to rebuild his confidence and faith in himself. Now it's up to you.
Anyone who thought I was done, nah bitch, not quite. Spotlights back on top, my fate, where's yours?
Although many may find Eminem's lyrics to be offending, many others find his music to be inspiring and motivational, and Eminem wants fans to remember he was there for them when they needed him in the chorus of the song. Since this was a time when the media was having a field day with articles about how Eminem fell off, it's quite sad because many fans, especially in the United States, turned their backs on him, and this is a fact based on how Revival performed in the United States compared to all his previous albums. The second verse starts with Eminem talking about how offensive his rhymes have been, but remember to proceed with caution if you want to take shots at him, as this is a gamble with your career.
You retards can roll the dice, but beef will at least cost you your career, cause even my cheap shots are overpriced.
Too Short is one of Eminem's influences.
Too short with a verse, studied his formula, learned how to incorporate a curse, pointed towards corporate America.
And Eminem plays on the fact that Too Short is known for the song Cuss Words. Eminem again touches on the fact that he's helped a lot of fans go through tough times.
I was there consoling you and no one knew it. When your situation showed no improvement, I was that door, you walked over to it.
And refers to how his music can get you motivated in hard times and get you jacked up.
And I'ma get you jacked up like you're trying to fix a flat when you struggle with despair.
This is quite clever because despair and despair sounds alike, and you jack up a car when you want to fix despair. And this is the same way his music lifts you up when you struggle with despair. Eminem's music is uplifting, and even Spotify revealed that Eminem's music are often part of workout playlists, and the reason for this is obvious. Till I Collapse, for instance, is the 5th most streamed song from the 2000s, and Lose Yourself the #1 most streamed song from that decade. These are top motivational songs, and you don't even have to like hip-hop music to agree with this fact. After more than 20 years, inspiration for new music is bound to get low, and Eminem is aware of this, but since Proof has got his back, it will not run out of inspiration.
When my battery's low, I'ma need a boost in my pack, and I know that I always got proof at my back.
Proof is also a synonym for fact or evidence to back up something, and Eminem restates how his friend is his inspiration.
Culture proof because I knew for a fact. My ace in the hole, homie, I'm calling on you cause I think I'm slowly starting to lose faith in it.
An ace in a hole pretty much means a hidden advantage that gives you confidence, which is usually reserved until it is needed to change the tides of a card game. Eminem also talks about fake fans who leave as soon as you speak on topics they don't agree with.
Fake fans led to 2 days to the show. Let heartbeats loop, produce hate in my soul. Laying vocals 2 days in a row.
And it's quite ironic because many of these fans left Eminem after the Eminem show. He also touches on how he has to work hard to maintain his level in the rap game, for instance, recording for 2 days in a row. In many cities around the world, riding across a bridge will require that you pay a fee at the toll booth, and Eminem plays on this and refers to the recording booth as a toll booth when he gets across to his fans.
True statement, hate to go down this road, but there's only one route to cross this bridge, so I walk in this bitch with loose chains, cause all my dues paid, but this boost taking its toll.
And the toll booth taking the toll could imply his payment in blood and sweat to get his music across, and also how this is quite exhausting and takes a toll on him. Life is not fair for most people, and even when you feel life has dealt you a weak hand, staying down and complaining will not improve your situation, and Eminem was down until he met Proof.
I used to play the loser victim till I saw the way Proof was driven.
And you know, in 2018, especially in the Western world, playing the victim and staying down has become something cool, but you never succeed by staying down and playing the victim. Proof taught Eminem to turn his adversities into strengths, and even after his death, Eminem still gets inspiration from him. In the end, Eminem is not an upcoming rapper and is at a point in his career where he has nothing to prove. He's already won the race and the facts speak for themselves, which makes it quite tricky with the question, where do you go from here?
But how do you keep up the pace and the hunger pangs once you've won the race? when that pool exhaust is cooling off.
Eminem with projects like the MMLP and the Eminem Show has already killed the game with his best, and these projects can't be topped commercially speaking.
Cause you don't got nothing left to prove it all, cause you done already hit him with the coup de grace.
Coup de grace is the final blow or shot given to kill a wounded person or animal, and Eminem has already done this with projects like the Eminem Show and MMLP. But even then, he still has the will to keep making music, and now it's up to true fans to believe in his ability to create. Do you still believe? Tell us in the comment section below, and if you'd like to know facts about Eminem's Revival album, click the link that pops up at the top right corner now. You can support the channel by donating to our PayPal at the link in the description of this video. Thanks for watching, leave your thoughts below and remember to subscribe if you haven't.